the end zone. He's got Simpkins caught in for the touchdown. Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking up to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
It's week 11 here on Chatterbox Plus, powered by Miami University Regional, along with Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for week number 11, or more importantly, week number 1 of these playoffs. Kev, as we look ahead, right, this is a very broad view. 6 weeks, 64 teams in the state. Only one can be champion.
You know, it's a long road. It's season number 2. You know, it's 6 long, grueling weeks, and you got to take it one game at a time. It's the old adage, you know, it's do or die, win or go home right now. So, you know, it's 6 weeks. It starts right here, right now, and honestly, we got a good one here. And it's funny, you know, last night you and I talked, and I was convinced. I said, you know what, we got on the phone. I said, you know, Lakota West is going to kill him. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the call, you had me convinced that, wait a minute, pump the brakes there, Kevin, that this Lebanon team is actually a force to be reckoned with, and they are. You know, you have 5 losses by 7 or less points throughout the year. In my opinion, you got kind of a ticked-off team here because they're going, wait a minute, we're probably a few minutes away in each of those games from hosting a playoff game and being probably a top 4-5 seed in there. So, you know, this could be a very interesting game. And even talking to Coach Bolden before the game, he's like, you know, they're big. They have the size. You know, I think the biggest question right now is, can they stop Mitch Bolden in the passing game?
Well, I would imagine that's part of your keys to the ballgame as we zero in with Zilch. Stop the running game.
Well, exactly, and that's going to be the biggest part of the game right now for Lakota West is we're going to see if they are able to plug the holes that we saw against Fairfield, because they're going to go up against a pretty formidable running attack. They only throw the ball, you know, maybe 12, 13 times a game, but their running back, Brendan Kay, you know, right now over 1,200 yards on the year. So they can run this football, and they have a big offensive line. We saw them down there on the field before, so that's going to be key for Lakota West. Can you plug the holes that we saw against Fairfield? And then, honestly, on Lebanon's side, and I think Coach Bolden kind of took the words out of my mouth earlier, you got to keep the ball away. You got to play smart football. The teams that we have seen that have had any type of success against Lakota West always kill themselves. It's penalties, it's untimely turnovers, it's getting forced into long down and distance situations. So again, for Lebanon, you got to play smart football. You got to hold on to the football and keep that offense off the field for Lakota West.
As we think about things as far as how we're setting things up, Lebanon, their ground and pound is the way to go for them. They're running the ball about 67% of the time. Yeah. That is a lot, especially in this day and age of the spread.
Oh, absolutely it is. But they've had success with it all year long, and they've actually competed with some really strong teams. You look at Milford, the Kings game. Kings is a really powerful team. They have been for the last couple years. That was a 14-13 Kings win. They played Anderson tough. Anderson's always a tough team in the ECC, and Milford as well. So, again, you know, this is a team that understands how to compete. They're just a few minutes away. They need about, it looks like almost 90 seconds or maybe 2 minutes more per game, per loss, and we're looking at a totally different mentality and totally different team for the Lebanon Warriors.
If you're ready now, let's give you the starting lineups here in this ballgame. First, we're visiting Lebanon. The Warriors are 4-6, 4-5 in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference. Micah Failer, in his first year, is the head coach. This is a team that came off a tough loss a week ago in Week 10. They lost 44-8, their only blowout loss of the year. But, of course, it was to the state's #1 team in Division II, Winton Woods. Their quarterback is Braden Everett at 6'1", 175 pounds, a senior. Braden Kay will open up at running back, as we had mentioned. 3 wide receivers, Slade Kyle Cook, and Lucas Roddy. Luke Edmonds is the tight end. And Kev, as we look at the offensive line, they're pretty big on that side of the ball. Garrett Pittman is the left tackle at 6'4", 290 pounds. Nick Shepline's the left guard. Micah Wilson's the center. Jacob Langston is the right guard. And Ryan Miller is the right tackle.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw Ryan Miller down the field, and he's listed at 6'1". I don't think they're shaving him a couple inches off that, because he's a big guy. And they are big up front. That'll be a true test for this defensive line for Lakota West. You know, are they going to be able to get in there and plug those holes inside, especially in the A-gap and B-gap players where they like to run the ball?
On defense for the Warriors, Quentin Wagers is one defensive end. The other defensive end is Reagan Bonney. In the middle, as they run a 4-man front, Tanner Smith and Caden Campbell. And we'll also see plenty of Evan Black here tonight as well. 3 linebackers, Marquez Johnson and Luke Berberich on the outside, Charlie Smith on the inside. The corners are Jarrett Kelly and Jack Cecil, Slade Kyle and Sam Seiko are the safeties. And as we focus in on the linebackers, partner, Luke Berberich is the key player on that. Second in the ECC in tackles, first in assists.
88 tackles, 45 solo on the year right now. I mean, he's just a force bearer. He's all over the field. He's left, right, up, down. That's what you want to see out of your linebacker there, especially on the outside. You know, he's really going to be a force to be reckoned with. Can they get those blocks? Can they block down? Another thing, they run a 4-man front. That's something to Lakota West that's going to be different. They haven't seen a lot of that this year. That changes a lot of blocking angles, changes a lot of pass protection. We'll see how they handle that here tonight.
As we await for Lakota West to take the field, they are the number 2 team in the state in the final regular season poll, only behind that team up north in Cleveland in St. Ed's.
Yeah, I mean, in St. Edwards right now is, the team to be reckoned with since they came down here and beat Moeller 6-0 2 weeks ago.
They are 10-0, by the way, Lakota West is. 9-0 in the GMC, undefeated conference winners for a 3rd year in a row. Tom Bolden in his 4th year at the helm here at Lakota West, 35-7. In his 16th year overall, 167-28. You and I, partners, saw their win a week ago, and that was against Coleraine here for senior night, 31-14. They ran out to the big lead, the first 31 points of the ball game, and just really kind of cruised from there. Mitch Bolden, ho-hum, 20 for 30, 302 yards passing, and not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 touchdown passes.
Those are like Joe Burrow, numbers almost from Sunday. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he took control of that game, and we've seen Mitch do that all year long. That's what he does. He puts the games in his hands. He throws the ball, and he's able to run the ball, and we saw that last week.
Speaking of money, Mitch Bolden is the quarterback at 6'1", 202 pounds, a senior. We'll give you his numbers here in a little bit. Wadis Gonzalez will open up at running back. Trent Lloyd, Malik Hartford, Josh Fussell, who gets a start tonight, and Brennan Remy are the wide receivers. Notable to hear about Josh's name because he takes the place of Ben Minnick, who's been so good the last couple of weeks. He is out tonight.
Yeah, he'll sit tonight. He, had an ankle injury, I believe. That was he was kind of nursing. We saw him kind of come up limp on a long pass throw last week. So he'll nurse that. I mean, hopefully they don't need him. Obviously, hopefully that won't be too big of a thing. And Josh able to step up as we see the last undefeated team in the state take the field here in a minute.
Well, the flags come out. WEST. And you do see the pink for Cancer Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and here come the Firebirds. Let's give you the rest of the offense. Tony Curtis is the left tackle, Mikey Gertz the left guard, Alex Key the center, Johnny Simpson the right guard, and Caden Fletcher is the right tackle. On defense, Gabriel Flores is the left end, Kofi Bobby is the nose guard, and the right end is Elijah Davis. Jacob Asbeck will play outside linebacker on one side, and getting the start on the other side is Grant Bierman. Mike Brandkamp and Micah Markley are on the inside. The corners are Drew Minnick and Josh Fussell. And we'll see Malik Hartford and Tabron Benny Powell at the safety spot. As you and I talked with Tom Bolden prior to the ball game, Tabron moves back into a familiar safety role once where he was doing that over at Lakota East. And Grant Bierman will get the start tonight for the injured as they play a rotation for the injured Ben Minnick.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how Tabron gets back in there. Obviously, kind of back at home, as you just said, in that safety position. So one thing, we've seen him, in that role a few times, at least on defense. He can play downhill, and he can hit, too. He and Malik Hartford are probably 2 of the bigger hitters you got on this team here. So, again, great night, and it's going to be an exciting one here.
The first playoff game, I think, partner, the thing that really I think about here in Week 11 is you do have 64 teams across the state of Ohio, at least in Division I. After tonight, in 3 short hours or so, half of those teams will say, thank you for the season, and we'll see you next year.
They're off the basketball then after that, absolutely. So that's the best part about it. And, I think, it's interesting, adding another week now, making it Week 6. Hey, it's one more week of football, man. Can't beat it.
Chris Quinn is the referee tonight. Sam Ryan, the umpire. Randy Adams is the line judge. Rob Wolf is the linesman, and the back judge is Sean Spires. Game time temperature, 64 degrees. Little northwest breeze at 6 miles per hour, though as you and I look out to our right, to the north end, the flagpole is very nearly dead. Lakota West will receive to get things started. Carson Forte will kick from his own 40 as Lakota West will go left to right. And away we go. A pinwheeling kick short, taken out at the 25. Return man up the middle. And it'll be a good start for Lakota West out at the 37-yard line.
Well, we talked yesterday, and we were even saying, this might be one of those games where you got to get up early on a team like Lebanon. And, I think I even said, hey, this would be an opportunity. If you get an opportunity to take the ball first, take it and score first. Because I think this is going to be that kind of game where you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to get to that 17-point-plus lead. And that's when you can start feeling comfortable against a team like Lebanon. Because they're just a team that has scrapped their way through a lot of these games. It's just been on the losing end of them by a very short margin.
Two wide out to the far side and a single down to the bottom of your screen, as you can see. And Bolden will get his first opportunity. And this one thrown out into space. And a good start for Lakota West.
I like that. I like that starting off with that simple type of pass from Mitch Bolden. That's where he likes to be early on in these games. Get that arm nice and loose. You pick up good yardage. You're in a second down and short situation here. Now, might be that opportunity to take a shot down the field like they have, in their first couple plays like we've seen all year long.
So Giovanni Wilson getting the start tonight. So he got that one out in space for a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 as we go triplets to the bottom. Bolden with time, throws over the middle, complete. It's a first down and more. And coming the near side is Remy, down the sideline, 10. Here's the cutback and into the end zone. Goodbye. 51 yards, have mercy.
Well, I told you. That's exactly what they needed to do. They wanted to score first. They got that great pass by Mitch Bolden to Brennan Remy. Well, that's the way to start off this game. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Get up early on Lebanon, and that's how they're going to be able to maintain this lead and expand it out. Great job by Lakota West.
That's the 26th touchdown pass this year for Mitch Bolden, and the 10th receiving this year for Brennan Remy. Both lead the Greater Miami Conference. On the kick is Tyler Bond. And she is up and through, and 55 seconds deep into this first quarter, 7-0 Lakota West leads.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, and that's exactly what they wanted to draw up there. A quick straight across the middle to Brennan Remy. The connection that these two have, Mitch Bolden and Brennan Remy, we've seen it all year long. It just continues to develop and get even better and better and better as the year goes on. The timing that they had to have there on that route to hit him on the slant pattern, and then Brennan Remy just turned on the jets and came across the field for the touchdown. That type of thing, that takes time and years to develop, and you're just seeing it at its peak right now between these two guys. It's truly, truly impressive to watch.
Two-play drive. It soaks up just 47 seconds off the clock. It goes 63 yards, capped off by the 51-yarder to Brennan Remy. Point after's good. And we've got a new score already here in this ball game, 7-0. And this is a team that is prone to getting out to quick leads, as we got a stat for you here after this kickoff. Bond, a low liner into the end zone, 5 yards deep, and a touchback. Lakota West is outscoring their opposition in the first quarter, 99-3.
I think that's to be expected with the offense. I think it's more impressive, honestly. The defense has only given up 3 points in the first quarter, which, that's in my opinion, that's just truly amazing. That's what wins you championships. You got to be able to stop those teams from jumping up on you. And if you can shut them down in the first half, the odds of you shutting them down for the rest of the game are pretty darn high.
Braden Everett's the quarterback, 66 for 127 this year for 52%, 908 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a rating of 114.5. He's a running threat, too. On 73 carries this year, he's compiled 558 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's in the pistol, and he'll throw on first down, and it's complete, and a good bit of stopping out there. Malik Hartford coming up from his safety spot to make a quick stop on first down.
Well, Malik Hartford and Jacob Asbeck on the left side there just completely read that from start to finish. He was able to get off of his block, get off his receiver, see through the defender and into the backfield to see where the ball was. That's what Malik does. That's why he's going to Ohio State. His vision, the way he sees the field is truly amazing. That's why he's one of the top linebackers in the state.
That's the 5th reception this year for Braden Kay, no gain. And now Kay will get the ball behind his right tackle, Ryan Miller, who you and I talked about in the open, and he gains maybe 1 on that play.
With this run-heavy, offense of Lebanon, for Lakota West, your goal has got to be to force them into these type of situations, these 3rd and long situations. This is, not a passing offense. They haven't been really all year long. So, again, when you force them here, you force them to uncomfortable situations that they don't want to be in, and that's going to be key for Lakota West as this game progresses.
Lebanon is 49.5% on 3rd downs this year. They go triplets to the bottom, and Everett looking left, throwing left, down to the side. Kay has it in space for a 1st down out to midfield. So Braden Kay has 2 quick receptions to move the chains. 1st and 10, Lebanon.
Well, again, Kay just was basically able to figure out where his spacing, and then good job by the quarterback to find him in that space. That had a lot of pressure on the quarterback there for Lakota West. They just had a breakdown in coverage. You got to maintain good spacing and good coverage during a scramble drill like that. Great job by Lebanon to get the 1st down.
6th catch of the year for Kay. Move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line as they go twins in the backfield. And the second man through. Braden Kay has nowhere to go. Stopped out there by the young man that we're talking about tonight, Grant Bierman, who gets a start tonight at 6'4", 190 pounds, a sophomore.
Oh, Grant got in there quick, got his first action right there. And I tell you what, so far they have not allowed anything on the ground for Lakota West. It's been all through the air for Lebanon. So if that continues, it could be an interesting night for the Warriors, because they have to do something that they really haven't done all year long, and that's throw the football.
And a run play and good yardage for young Braden Kay. And the note on the senior, a little mighty might, if you will. 7.2 yards per carry. He's got 1,282 yards coming into this ball game. That's good for 2nd in the ECC. And he's got 6 there.
You're able to do that. You're able to hide behind those big linemen and sneak up in there. That's big. That's big for them.
Another 3rd down. They completed on their last one on that deep throw to Kay, and Kay has it off left tackle and close to a 1st down. And Bierman in on the stop, or Elijah Davis at the bottom of that as well. And they'll move the chains. So Braden Kay, as we had mentioned, is a home run threat. Little guy, just from a height standpoint, but he's also gotten 15 touchdowns this year, and he has a 282-yard game to his credit this year.
Wow, I mean, that's just a testament to what he's able to do and break through those big yardage gains up the middle like that.
Everett's back to pass, flush from the pocket, now on the run, he'll keep it himself. As he'll take it across the 40-yard line and pick up a few on the play.
Breakdown and just really contain there for Lakota West. Good job by Brendan to basically see it, tuck it, and pick up good yardage there. Set up a shortened 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 8, I guess is what they're calling it here. So maybe he didn't get as much as I thought. But still, good job by the quarterback there, recognizing there's nothing downfield, pulling it and finding his lane and picking up good yardage.
Well, Fishy a pickup of 2. It looked like a little closer to 3.
That's what I thought.
So Everett will give to Kay on a little sleight of hand, but out to the right side, and Bierman, who's seeing a lot of action on that stop, as well as our favorite at the linebacker spot, Jacob Asbeck.
Well, Bierman's really just flying around the field. He's seen the ball very quickly. He's reacting very quickly. We haven't seen him really hardly at all on the starting defense. So this is pretty impressive to see his vision right now.
3rd and 8. As Lebanon is 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this opening drive, they motion Kay, and we've got an official stop. Timeout charge to Lebanon. Miami University Regionals is accepting applications for 2023 classes. With over 30 majors offered in person and online, you can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree, conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamioh.edu/regionals. So a good start for Lakota West here as we're in the timeout. 2 plays, and they're in the end zone just like that, as we've come to expect. On the other side, it's a long plodding drive, and we talked with Micah Failer prior to this ball game, and that's what he's hoping for, to melt some clock, have methodical drives where you're picking up yards and not necessarily getting first downs on every play. You're just looking to melt the clock.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. They're chunking away yards so far. They had a 3rd and long situation and a big pass play that was kind of wild, to be honest with you. Scrambled out of the pocket. They would find the receiver down the field. Now they're in another 3rd and long situation here. So what does Micah come up with here? Are they able to get this first down? We'll have to wait and see right now.
Slade Kyle Cook on the left side, and we'll see if he throws on 3rd down. He does, over the middle, bobbled, and was it caught on the deflection?
Looks like it, yeah.
Interception. It was picked off.
Well, when you throw into coverage like that against this type of defense and this defensive backfield, I'll tell you what, you're not going to come out successful most of the time. And right there, that's exactly what happened at Lebanon.
So the drive stalls, and it's 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line with 7:08 left to go here in this first period. The run play nets positive yards. Little sleight of hand, honestly, as I was looking at the throw fake by Bolden as he's become a little bit more savvy on those opportunities.
Well, I think that is part of that RPO game. It keeps the defense guessing. That's been a huge part in progression of, football really over the last couple of years. That RPO game has just been huge, and it's trickled its way down now to the high school level.
Play fake, and Bolden with time, flush from the pocket, rolling to the right, and it's dropped. Big loss on the play. Quentin Wagers, who leads the team in tackles for loss and sacks, with 18 and 10.5 coming on in with a big loss on the play.
Well, Mitch turned to his right and almost looked like his receiver either wasn't there or was covered, and they didn't know where to go with the football. He had Brennan Remy open for a minute down the field, but that's in a situation where you got to know, hey, let's just throw it out of bounds, live to fight another down, and now you're in a long 3rd, and they're putting 23 up on the board. There's not much on your play card for that.
A loss of 15 on the play. Bolden to throw. With time, he throws, and it's caught out on the far side. And the receiver had to take a knee and trying to get it. That's Trent Lloyd. And it'll be a punting situation on 4th down for Lakota West.
Well, that was just a missed opportunity there off the turnover. Taking that big loss really just sets you up in a situation that you just really can't get out of. There's not much on your play sheet for 3rd and 23. And in that situation, again, Mitch, I think, is going to see that tomorrow morning and realize he just needs to throw that out of bounds and live to fight another down.
Punt coming, and it's a long one. And nowhere to go. Drew Minnick playing like his big brother on making the stop.
Well, I'll tell you what, Drew flew down there, and the way that he was able to get on that and cover it immediately, well, one, it was a fantastic punt. I mean, he was backing up at least 10 yards. So, again, that's what you're going to need. Good special teams play is going to be something key. I mean, it's really key during the regular season, but it takes an even bigger importance come the postseason. And plays like that, when you're able to affect field position by 15 or 10 to 15 yards on a punt, that can be big against a team like this because that can demoralize it. That takes away a first down on this next drive for Lebanon.
That's a net of 45 yards, and with 5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter, Lebanon will get their second opportunity out at the 17-yard line. They motion K from the outside, and now he's looking to throw, looking for K, and now is in trouble and is dropped in the backfield out towards the 10-yard line. I mean, they collapsed in on him. Bierman was there. I mean, really, it was a team meeting out there, and I think it was cleaned up by Elijah Davis.
Well, they got pressure in on Braden quick. And that's the key. If you're able to get it quick, he didn't know what to do. Had to pull down the football very quickly, and then boom, you're able to get the sack. So again, this is what we've seen opponents against Lakota West do. They get some momentum, then all of a sudden they make some mistakes. And I said that in my keys to the game for Lebanon. That's something they cannot do tonight.
Loss of 5 on the play. Second down, and here comes the end around. It goes to Braden Kay. Bierman in there on the stop along with Elijah Davis.
Well, I'll tell you what, they stretched that play out far, but they did not have any lane whatsoever to cut up into. And that's a testament to the way that this defensive front for Lakota West has been coached. Their pursuit angles, I talked about this last week, their pursuit angles and the way they're able to stretch opposing offenses to the sideline is so huge. And that's disciplined defensive football, and that goes back to the coaching that they get from Coach Bolden and his defensive staff.
3rd and 15. As this one nearly picked off. This one had eyes on it. Minnick was there, and so was Malik Hartford, both of whom were looking for their second pick 6.
Wow, that was darn close. He had nobody in front of him. That'll force a punting situation for the Warriors now, but man, that was awfully close. But again, that just goes back to the way that this defensive backfield has played all year long. They've been able to shut opposing passing games just down by the way they're able to cover downfield in the backfield. Great job by Lakota West, really just from week 1 until now. Just great lockdown coverage defense by the Firebirds, excuse me.
Ryan Miller is the punter, averaging just about 36.5, and this one nearly blocked. Trent Lloyd at his 47 comes up the near side, dancing, and now down the line, has some space to the 20, down to the 10, to the 5, to the house he goes! If it's good, it's 6. It's 13-0 Lakota West.
Wow. That was awfully quick. Trent Lloyd slicing and dicing his way. Man, I told you special teams are going to come up big. They're going to come up big. I hope that it looks like we might have a flag, though, there.
And we do see a flag out at the 32-yard line, and that's where he was in the middle of that convoy, which would negate a 53-yard punt return for a touchdown.
They're asking, let's see here, personal foul.
Personal foul on the visiting team, Lebanon, and it's good.
There we go.
So
all right.
53-yard punt return for 6 for Trent Lloyd. 13-0 as we await the punt after.
Well, again, like I said, special teams are going to play a huge part in these playoffs, and this is big. What Trent Lloyd did right there, that's huge momentum over to Lakota West side that you're able to build on now. The big defensive stop, the special teams touchdown, the great punt before that to set that up and force Lebanon into that bad field position. Just a great all-around series for Lakota West right there.
Tyler Bond to kick out of the hold of Aaron Peters. Mikey Gertz to snap. And with 3:14 left to go here in this first period, the number 2 team in the state is out to a 14-0 lead thanks to a 53-yard punt return for Trent Lloyd. The New York City Diner is open all night.
Absolutely. And, that's just a great, great series there. And I just keep thinking, going back to that, the big, long punt, the interception by the defense, the big, long punt after the offense wasn't able to get anything going off the interception, and then right there, the big, forcing them into a 4th down situation, the punt return, just an all-around great series right there for Lakota West. And again, this just shows their discipline as a team. They were to come off of that bad offensive series, get a big special teams play. Remember, this is where it's all going to affect and come to fruition right now.
Right now, neither team running the ball. And I know that we're awaiting a kickoff here, but it bears mentioning here. Neither team running the ball effectively so far. Lebanon a little bit better than West. Lakota West has a couple of carries from minus 12 yards right now, though you wouldn't know it by the score. And Tyler Bond ho-hum yet another touchback.
Man, I'll tell you what, you have a stat on that, I think.
And I'll get to that here in just a second. Lebanon, as we finish the rushing point, they've carried the ball already 7 times for 6 yards. So neither team doing a whole heck of a lot on the ground. It's the air attack for Lakota West Mitch Bolden right now 3 for 3 and a touchdown. And that's been so far the difference here in this ball game.
Well, I think you just said it's a tale of really two offenses. And right now, Lebanon has been their own worst enemy so far. You know, they've had interceptions. They get some momentum going, and then they force themselves into a 3rd and long situation, which then forces them to throw the ball. So, again, they got to force themselves to stick back to their running game, get back on schedule, really, is what they need to do offensively.
Quarterback Everett keeping, has good yards on first down, angling to the sideline. Flag comes in at the end of the play.
Curious what this will be.
It looked like the linebacker, the newcomer that we've been talking a lot about, Grant Bierman, got tied up out there with Kyle Cook, and this one's coming back.
Yeah, they're going to call it holding on Lebanon.
So you were asking about a stat on Tyler Bond. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I am, yeah, because it's a pretty impressive one, actually.
So coming into this ballgame, and keep in mind he's had a couple of touchbacks already. 33 touchbacks through 10 weeks, which is more than the 25 that the rest of the GMC had all year.
That's just wild. That is absolutely wild. I've said it. I think every week we've done a Lakota West game. I've said it, but from a special team standpoint, when you're able to do that and force your opposing team to start every single time in that field position, that's huge.
It's a Tyler Bond counter.
Yeah,
is what we
exactly.
have.
Yeah.
He's got 3 more tonight, and the running play gains just about 2 yards. So again, neither team doing a whole heck of a lot right now running the ball. Now, in fairness to Lakota West, they've gashed Lebanon for big plays through the air, and, well, when you have that, you really don't need to think about the running game right now.
I always say when you got a big gun, you got to shoot, and right now that is the passing game for Lakota West. So, again, for Lebanon, they got to sustain a drive, but, again, it's not going to be easy when you're in 2nd and 13 all night long.
Everett, and the give to the running back, off left tackle, and you're not going to find a lot of room there. Micah Brandkamp was on that side, and, of course, Elijah Davis there, too.
Well, Brandkamp and Davis there on that right side just locked that thing down for Lakota West. I mean, no team really all year long has been able to do much off the edge with those two there. You know, Elijah Davis, the big hero in the, the Fairfield game, returning the fumble in overtime there. So, again, that's just been locked down in that front three for Lakota West defense.
Roddy's a split out to the top of your screen, and now a deep drop for Everett, running out of time, looking right, and throwing on the move intended for Roddy out on the sideline. And we may have a flag on the play as well. If we do, it's holding against Lebanon.
Odds are, I would imagine they would decline it, force him into 4th and 11 here. I would imagine that they would go for that, but yeah, I think that's exactly what happened there. But that's the type of stuff right there. Those type of stretch plays, that's really hard for offensive linemen to keep your hands inside. It's really, really difficult. You're literally on the run. Your momentum is carrying you all the way to the sideline. Any type of wrap around, or you get a hand on the waist, or anything around the back, that's so obvious because the referee's standing right there. That's really difficult to do.
Miller to kick again from his own 5. He's got a little bit more space to work with this time as the ball's on the 19-yard line. We'll see if Lakota West is going to attack the punter. They get pressure on, and this one's directed to Remy. Out at the 48, angles to the far sideline, has a burst of steam! Out across the 30 and down inside the 25-yard line. Another nifty return for Lakota West.
Well, I'll tell you what, they keep getting punt returns like this. Mitch is going to make an easy night for Mitch Bolden and his offense. They're going to start now with the ball, inside the Lebanon 30-yard line. So, again, great starting field position for Mitch Bolden, this offense, which is just huge. If you're able to start there every single drive, man, I'll tell you what, that makes it an easy night on everybody, coaches and players.
1:21 left to go here in this first period. Lakota West looking to impose their will from the 22 after a 30-yard punt return from Brennan Remy. Bolden to throw with time. Deep middle touchdown! Oh, incomplete. Dropped out at the 2-yard line for Scott Johnson.
Right in the bread basket. Man, that was right on the dime. I mean, that Money Mitch put it right in his hands. Just couldn't quite haul it in.
Expect Scott to get a little bit more playing time tonight with Ben Minnick out. And we'll see a rotation there between him and Josh Fussell. And Coach Bolton had given Scott Johnson praise during the week. Really thanked him for being a team player, great blocker on run plays, and he's finding himself open. Deep drop, and now they set up the screen. And some good yards on second down. As it goes to the tight end, whose name that we've been mentioning a little bit more and more, Luka Gilbert. That's his third catch this year.
Well, we've been seeing him get action earlier and earlier in football games. You know, this is really, I think, the first time we've seen him in the first quarter all year long. He's really been playing really well over the last 3 or 4 weeks for Lakota West. And when you got a big guy in there like that, that makes screen plays very easy on Mitch Bolton. You can get the ball up more, okay? So you don't have to put the ball down, and your guy can go up and jump it and jump up and grab it in traffic, because that's where you're going to throw the football on a screenplay. And now set up nice position now for Lakota West.
See where they spot the ball officially. Now they're going to move the chains on that first
and
goal out of the 8. So they gave him forward progress to the 8. We thought he was stopped right around the 10.
Yeah, interesting there. So, yeah, great job again. Just getting low and getting more yardage, get that first down. Bolton's
looking for a second of the night. And he's got Gonzalez in the backfield with him. On first and goal, he steps up through and eludes some people, and now is dragged down out at the 5-yard line. Carson Dwyer in on the stop.
Well, he didn't make it easy to bring him down for Mitch Bolton. He's a big kid. And but, yeah, great job by him. Just recognize there's nothing there. He had some pressure on him, found a lane. He was able to pick up at least 3 to 4 yards. Brings up 2nd and 5 now to the goal line.
And we'll see if they get this play off with 5 seconds to go. They do. Bolton to throw. And incomplete. And with that, the first quarter has finally expired. Your score after 1 period in the book, 14-0 Lakota West, here on Chatterbox Plus, powered by Miami University Research. To the second quarter we go here in Beckett Ridge tonight, 14-0 the home team and the 3 seed here in Region 4. Leading the 14, Lakota West over Lebanon, along with Uncle Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus, powered by Miami University Regionals. As we switch sides and attack the south end zone, it's 3rd and goal. What do you drop here?
Oh, play action be nice right here. Good time for it, 3rd and 5.
He motions Gilbert to the left, and now Bolton will throw. Looking left and in! Touchdown! No, incomplete! Off the hands of Luka Gilbert.
I think Luka might have been thinking touchdown before he had the ball in his hands there. Good job, though. Play action exactly. He had the right setup there, the right play. He was wide open there. Just didn't come down with the ball, and it was set up a field goal opportunity now for Lakota West.
Well, Gilbert was open for a brief second out on that flat. Looked easy pitch and catch, but it's no good, and now we've got a field goal attempt. It's a 23-yarder for Tyler Bond, and is up and through 17-0 with 11:52 left to go till halftime.
Well, we were talking last night, Jeff, and I said, you know, for me in a game like this, going up against a team like Lebanon, I said 17-plus point type lead is where I would start to feel comfortable, where I would feel good about where I'm at. You know, that's a 3-score lead now right for Lakota West. So they're in a good spot here right now. I think for Lakota West, where they're kind of going, we've missed some opportunities on offense. Well, on that opportunity right there with great field position, and again off the interception where they had to take that big loss on the sack. So I think that's the only point where they're going, man, all right, Those are self-inflicted wounds, though, okay? We did that to ourselves there, so that's stuff that they can improve on at a halftime, which, if there's a team that I don't know if there's a team in the state that makes better halftime adjustments than this coaching staff and Lakota West. We've seen it all year long. We've seen teams give this team fits in the first half, and then, boom, they would come wipe them out in the second half.
This one pinwheeling to the end zone, taken at the goal line. And the return coming here for Lucas Roddy. Up the far sideline. He's got good yardage here to get Lebanon started here in this second quarter.
That looked like good yards. I think they're going to spot him out a little bit earlier, though. It looks like they're going to spot him out closer to the 20-yard line.
So apparently he stepped out on that far sideline before he got up to about the 28. They will mark him at the 20.
Yeah.
So almost better off letting that one get back into the end zone and giving Tyler Bond his 4th touchback of the night.
Yeah. Surprised that wasn't a touchback, to be honest with you.
Well, it was right at the goal line.
Right there, it was.
It was right at the goal line, and Lucas Roddy, the return man, the deep man, decided, hey, I'm going to come out and see what we can do. Sometimes you just got to go.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a shot. And, hey, no harm, no foul. You're still at the 20-yard line here regardless. Actually, at the 21, I think.
They switch up, looking for wide receiver matchups on the near side, as coming left or coming to the bottom of your screen is Slade Kyle and Kyle Cook.
Tell you what, the way this defensive line has played tonight for Lakota West has been so impressive. We saw them a couple weeks ago against a Fairfield team that, man, I tell you what, they ran almost like a hot knife through butter for them. That was really the first time we've really seen this Lakota West defense on their heels. But I'll tell you what, they have shut down the middle running game for Lebanon all night long, and that's really been Lebanon's forte. That's been their go-to, has been this big running game right now, and so far it's been virtually non-existent here for the Warriors.
Averaging 226 yards on the ground per ball game this year. NK gets the ball, and Jacob Asbeck says, no way.
I mean, he just shut it down. That's just what they've done. They figured it out after that Fairfield game, how they need to make the right adjustments, put the right guys in the right position to shut down a middle running game, which I tell you what, teams have not really done a lot of, mostly because the opponents have been forced to pass so early on in the game. So I kind of get that. And even saw that against St. X in week 1. But again, the way that these guys have just made adjustments and figured it out, that's the sign of a great football team. When you're able to say, hey, guys, we need to figure this out. We've been we got our butts kicked, on the inside run game against Fairfield, and so far they've done it.
No gain. Gabriel Flores, by the way, also helped in on that stop. 3rd and 8. Everett in trouble, flushed, and now throwing to the sideline, complete out at the 32-yard line for Roddy.
Well, good job on the run there. I think we got a flag, though, and there is, in the backfield there.
Out at the 14-yard line. It's in the area of holding, and that's what it is. It's against Lebanon. Again, tonight's referee is Chris Quinn.
When you're able to get pressure like that, like Lakota West did, what you do on the offensive line is then the quarterback has to scramble, and you really start getting into one-on-one pass blocking situations. And I just referred to that a few minutes ago, but that is tough to be in, especially when you're in space. Anything you do, any wrap, jersey pull, you're going to be front and center for the referee to make that call.
And a shame on the hold, right? Because even though we don't know who it is, and it's obviously to protect the quarterback.
Right.
The point of it becomes that it negates a first down play.
Right.
They spot the ball all the way back to the 8-yard line.
Which is something Lebanon desperately needs right now to gain some offensive momentum no matter what it is.
You bring extra men here if you're Lakota West.
Oh, yeah, when they've got him back like this, yeah.
Everett in his own end zone, now flushed and rolls to the right and will hold on to it. And, boy, he gets smushed out at the 10-yard line. Asbeck in there, getting some glad hands there, as well as getting some support up there by Mike Brandkamp.
I was going to say, I think it was Mike Brandkamp that came in and kind of laid the big hit there as Asbeck was taking him down. But the way I saw Brandkamp get off his block, see where the ball is, that's the vision that this defense has. And that goes back to coaching. That goes back to playing disciplined defensive football. And that's what we're seeing here because we forget a lot of these guys were playing last year too. These are younger guys, but they've got a lot of varsity game experience on this Lakota West defense.
4 on the play clock. Let's see if they come after the punter Miller. He gets it away, and it's a punt for Remy. Out at inside the 40, gets away, and now looking for the sideline. Has some space out there. Down the sideline, going to the end zone. Goodbye! Another return for a touchdown on special teams tonight for Lakota West. 23-0. Mercy.
Wow. Special teams, I'll tell you what, in the postseason, that's where they come alive. The second one for the Firebirds tonight. Man, I'll tell you what, that's fun to watch right there.
Unofficially, a 45-yard return for Brennan Remy. 2 punt returns tonight. 2 in the same half. It's been a while since I've seen one of those.
I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever seen it.
And after this kick, we've got a stat for you. Point after is good, 24-0, and the route is on here in Beckett Ridge tonight. 3 leading 14 here in Region 4. What I alluded to, partner, is that with the 2 punt returns for scores tonight, Lakota West on defense and special teams now has a combined 11 scores. Wait, is that correct? Hold on. Now I have to double check on that. 4 scores on defense, and now 4 scores on special teams. 8 scores that have not come on offense.
Well, and that's what you got to do. If you're going to have the number 1 defense in the state, or you're going to be this good, have the number 1 the number 1 defense in the city, hey, score points. All right, score points on defense. That's what the great defensive do, and that's what they've done here tonight. You want to have one of the best all-around teams score on points on special teams. That's the way you're going to determine whether you're a great special teams player or a great team all around. Can you score points outside of the offensive game? And I think that's what Lakota West has proven here tonight and all season long.
Long boot, and this one is a touchback. The 4th tonight for Tyler Bond. He's on the money.
Oh, man, he's feeling it tonight. Another thing I realized, Lakota West, they run 2 punt returners most of the time in their sets. Both of them have touchdowns now tonight. Where do you punt the football if you're Lebanon? You're going, wait a minute. Do I go left? Do I now shank it? Is it better for us to go on first down? Is it better? What is it?
Partner, I think you just nailed it.
Yeah.
Take it out of bounds.
Yeah.
And negate the big return.
That's what you got to do. Or do you say, hey, we're just going to chuck the ball on 4th down and heave it up, and that be as good as a punt? I don't know.
So if you're Lebanon, I think the thing that you pat yourself on the back on is your defense has only given up 10 points to the state's number 2 team. It's your special teams right now that's in big trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
8:46 to go till halftime, and boy, not much to gain out there.
I think that was Malik Hartford
It
all
sure
over
was.
and he smelled that one too. I think. I don't know. Might predict that he has one here by the end of the night, because that's been about 3 throws that he has spied on and been awfully close to pick sixes.
That's a pickup officially of 1 on the pass play to Marcus Johnson, who's a linebacker, but seeing some duty here as we progress through this playoff game. They go doubles to the bottom of your screen, but it's a quarterback keeper by Everett off the left side. Doesn't have a lot of space out there.
Well, one thing that I noticed with that set, and this might be something that Lebanon's doing, I don't know, but that brought Malik Hartford all the way out to the numbers. You basically effectively took the best defender for Lakota West and took him out of the play of field. Now you also had to sacrifice 2 of your athletes, 2 receivers to do that. But again, that might be a way to get the running game going, to say, hey, we need to get our guys spread out, get their best defenders away from the party up in the middle. Again, I don't know, but that's what it looks like they're trying to do at least.
It's Slade Kyle and Adam Sherrick to the right. And the quarterback keeping it again. You're not going to get anywhere up the middle against Lakota West.
Nope.
So a good effort there, but Kofi Bobby in on the stop.
Well, the boat was taking on water over in Fairfield a few weeks ago, but they plugged all the holes, and she's heading the right way now, I'll tell you what, on defense.
Well, here's the question I pose to you, and maybe it's because of the way the score plays out. Why have you gotten away from Braden Kay?
Well, I think what unfortunately happens is that 17-point deal, right? You're under pressure now. You got to get going. They're scoring so quickly on special teams. They can score on offense quick. You got to get something going. You got to get a big play. You got to get down the field. And that's the reason I would imagine they've had to go away from the running game.
This one is angling to the sideline. And in Lebanon territory, I think it's going to be out right around the 45-yard line. And if that's the case, it's a 22-yard net.
I mean, that's what they got to do. I mean, you kick it to the sideline. Keep it away from Trent Lloyd and Brennan Remy. I mean, that's literally has to be the name of the game right now for Lebanon on the punt. But, going back to getting away from Kay, again, what I'd like to see is put him in the slot. See what you can do to get him. He's obviously one of the best athletes you have on offense. Get him the ball in space, maybe not necessarily in the middle of the field where the run game hasn't been all night long. So that would be my adjustment if I'm Lebanon with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. That would be what I would be trying to do as an offensive coach.
Gonzalez in the backfield with Bolden, dummy count, and now Bolden back to throw, looking left, throwing to the left, and it is caught for Giovanni Wilson. He stutters, and now he comes forward out to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 16.
Giovanni Wilson wanted to go left. He said, that wasn't there. Wanted to go right. Said, that wasn't there. Said, I think I'll just fall forward and not get yelled at by Coach Bolden anymore.
6:22 to go, and right now another touchdown here for Lakota West means the potential for a running clock as we go twins to each side. Bolden back to throw, looking left, pumping left, and it's complete to Brennan Remy, who's already scored a touchdown tonight, receiving and on a punt return.
Good job by Mitch Bolden to get the ball out of his hands quick. And that's one thing that he's really proved on, I think, from last year. He had a guy in his face right there, and boom, he was able to get it out. It's almost like a catcher, throwing the ball down to second. You got to throw it right from the ear hole really quick. And that's what he's done. That's one big thing in his game that I've seen improve is this short passing game.
7-yard pickup, 2nd and 3. Bolden to throw again, deep middle, and it's too long, intended for Remy, who's looking for his 3rd overall tonight. Had some space down on that post route as he beat the safety down towards to the numbers.
Well, they wanted to run the post, and Brennan Remy just kept running. It looks like just a little miscommunication there. They're going to, I think, and they both knew it when they were running back to the huddle as well. So they'll get that fixed up real quick. That's been really the first time we've seen them kind of be off communication, if you will, those two.
Remy is flanked out to the right. Lloyd in a slot inside of Remy. On 3rd and 3, down in distance. And the run play to the left. And I don't know. Good stop by Lebanon. Charlie Smith, the middle linebacker, the first one in there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark it as a 4th down, and they're going to signal play in and go for it. And I think you're going to see Mitch Bolden right here.
Right to the line, and Bolden's in under center. 4th and 1 out of the 23. After a pickup of 1. And we'll see if he just dives forward. He goes off the right side, and a nice bit of use of legs for Mitch Bolden. Not to dive forth behind his center, Alex Keith, but to go behind Simpson and Fletcher on the right side.
Well, you go behind the big guys, right? And that's exactly a great job by Mitch Bolden. I'm sure he got to the line, saw where the hole was, and said, hey, okay, I got this gap along the right side. Sometimes we even tell the quarterback, lean forward and spin your way to a 1st down. But again, great vision by Mitch to see, hey, this is where I got to go, and then get in there.
It's Remy and Lloyd to the left. Giovanni Wilson is in a slot to the right inside of Scott Johnson as they go twins on each side. Gonzalez, and now they motion Lloyd. Bolden to throw, looking left, home run for Remy! Out on the sideline, incomplete. Try to get a foot down, but the linesman on the near side, Randy Adams, says no way, and that'll bring up another opportunity here for West.
Good coverage there by Lebanon. They really kind of squeezed him to the sideline there. Brennan Remy, there was some contact. He won the flag. They said, nope, we're going to let him play. But good job there by the Lebanon defense. Good coverage by the Warriors.
4:04 left to go till halftime, 24-0. Second and 10 as Lakota West goes tight in this formation. Bolden to throw, looking outright, and incomplete. They went little skinny cross on that one, intended for Scott Johnson, incomplete, third down.
Yeah, just off the hands of Scott Johnson there. And we're seeing Lakota West kind of get into these situations now on the goal line here where they've been forced into some of these third and long situations now. So I'm sure that'll be something they're going to talk about at halftime. Guys, we got to get a little bit more on point when we get into the red zone.
We see Josh Fussell come in for Scott Johnson and how he's a flanker to the right. Outside of Giovanni Wilson, they motion Lloyd to the right. Bolden to throw once more, looking deep middle for the post route. Incomplete.
I'll tell you what, they've had about 3 or 4 really good looks at it here, and Mitch's passes, they're just off the mark, just by a little bit, not by much right there, just a little bit. So they're just missing these throws. Now set up another field goal opportunity here for Lakota West.
Intended for Giovanni Wilson. The ball's at the 19. This looks like this will be about a 36-yard field goal attempt just inside the left hash. Line drive kick right down the middle and good. 27-0 with 3:47 to go till halftime.
Again, I really think the only blemish on the night for Lakota West is just they've had some of these offensive drives stall out a little bit, especially when they get down towards the red zone. So I think that's going to be key here going into halftime and coming out of halftime is, hey, we've proven we've been able to strike quick. We've proven that we're able to throw the football. Now we got to get some offensive going here, especially in the red zone. So that's really the only blemish I've seen is Lakota West offense has really kind of stopped themselves and been a little bit of their own worst enemy in the red zone there, which is really the one point that they can't be in.
9-play drive. It stalls out at the 19-yard line. Drive took 2 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock. It was capped off by the 37-yard field goal by Tyler Bond, his second of the night, and the brand new score here in Beckett Ridge is 27-0. We had mentioned a little bit ago about running clocks, and we do have actually a stat about running clocks that we'll probably bring up a little bit more in the second half as Bond looks to get yet another touchback. This one will be into the end zone, about a yard deep, but they all count. Whether they boom 10 yards deep or they're right at the goal line, touchback.
Well, it's his 5th one of the night? Yeah. His 5th touchback of the night? Thank goodness.
He's on the money. He might be, I know we don't do a player of the game as much as we do a play of the game, but he might be our player of the game right now.
He might be, absolutely. Well, just the recognition he deserves because we've seen it all year long with that leg that he's been able to do that.
3:47 to go. I think if you're Lebanon right now, you're really trying to figure out how to sustain a drive. And, again, we go back to those punt returns, 2 of them tonight for touchdowns. And I think that really took them out of what they planned to do with Braden Kay and milking the clock.
Got them out of their game plan.
Kay with the give. Actually, the keeper.
Oh,
Kay is in space down the sideline and a breakout out to midfield. So, beg your pardon, it was the keeper by the quarterback, Braden Everett, on a big gain there of 30.
Well, that's been about the second big gain we've seen him, really only the second big gain on the ground that we've seen him have all night long. So they're going to really have to step up here now on defense for Lakota West. You see Coach Bolden out there yelling at his defense, trying to get them fired up. Tell you what, he was fired up in pregame tonight.
Yes,
He was ready to rock and roll.
Play action. Everett looking to throw. Flushed, and he'll be dropped. And he lets go of the ball at the end, but after he was contained, and the sack there by Kofi Bobby.
They didn't blow a whistle, or nobody heard a whistle there, so they were kind of scrumming around for it.
Out to the 33-yard line. That's a loss of 15.
Wow. Because he got rid of the ball. He got rid of the ball, but I was thinking he
was already in the grass.
Was he? Okay, I was trying to remember, was that timed up there? Wow, that's what Lebanon can't do, and that's what I talked about in the pregame. You can't have these get good plays and then you go backwards hugely like that. That's just not going to work if you want to sustain drives or get back on schedule offensively.
Is that a loss of 20? That's actually a loss of 20 because the line of scrimmage was at the Lakota West 48. So a loss of 20 on the play and a roll right by Everett. Looking right, throwing right, and picked off! Nearly picked off by Malik Hartford out on the sideline, out at the 42-yard line.
I'll tell you what, he's getting closer and closer. That's been, at least 4 passes that have come his way that he's been just off the mark for a big interception there. So, again, just kind of sitting back and waiting because I tell you what, Malik is smelling that INT right now.
He's already got a pick 6 this year. It was against Mason, if you recall, and that really killed the Comets in that game, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, you're right.
They were trying to play comeback, and Brown, their quarterback, threw out to the right, and earlier in the game, Malik had seen a play like that, and Everett will go up top. Out to the other side, and this one knocked away. Well, you can't throw to Josh Fussel's side like that.
Well, and that's the problem that Lebanon's going to have right now is they're going to be forced into those situations if they continue to make mistakes like that and force into a 3rd and 30. There's just there's not much you can do, especially when you're down 27 points in the first half right now. So that's what Lakota West has forced Lebanon to do, is to basically get them out of their game. Lebanon wanted to run the football. They wanted to run Brendan Kay all night long. My goal right now, if I'm Lebanon, how do I get the ball to Brendan Kay in space? How do I get it out on the edge or in the middle?
Motion on the line, they're going to stop the play. The right tackle came out of his stance. With 1:53 to go till halftime, 27-0, as Lakota West is looking to increase their unbeaten streak to 11.
Those type of mistakes right there, that just kills you. I mean, there's no other point. You're already down 27-0, and to boot, you're looking at a 4th and 35 now.
So the ball had been all the way up on the running play by the quarterback up to the 48 of Lakota West. It's now back after penalties and loss plays to their own 28 for Lebanon. Miller to punt, and this one is blocked. It's still loose on the field. And going towards the end zone, do we have another touchdown? It's a safety.
Well, Malik Hartford, I think, pushed his guy back into it, and that's what caused the blocked punt. But, man, I'll tell you what, the special teams strike again for Lakota West.
29-0. Mercy.
Wow.
Think about this for a second, partner. If Lakota West didn't show up with any offense at all, they still have the lead in this ball game by 16.
Yeah, exactly. They could have punted every single time on offense.
Special teams is outkicked, or the result of offense here has been outdone by special teams tonight.
And this is where it's so important. This is where you need your special teams to step up. It takes so much pressure off the offense, off the defense. And if you're able to have that, especially now in the playoffs where they're playing at their peak, I'll tell you what, this is a team that is really moving now officially on all 3 cylinders, offense, defense, and special teams at the exact right time in the season.
You had mentioned Tom Bolden being raring to go tonight.
Yeah.
When the words out of Tom Bolden are, "How you doing tonight, brother?" and that's his opening line, he's in a good mood.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely excited. I mean, he was definitely fired up. I think he had his guys very well prepared for this game, obviously.
Giovanni Wilson and Trent Lloyd are at their own 32-yard line. They're awaiting the free kick. Miller will kick it from his own 20, and he angles it right to Giovanni Wilson, and this one will head out of bounds.
Won't be a penalty because it's a drop kick.
Right, and this ball will be placed out at the 28-yard line with 1:25 left to go. Do you go hurry up?
Who up 21-0? You know, honestly, I like getting practice in those type of situations. You're going to need a hurry up situation here, you know, later on in the next rounds, right? You're going to need to have that. So, yes, why not practice it? Keep the starters out there for at least another series and work on that situational style football, because that's so valuable. And to get that in-game practice and get that in-game look, you know, especially right now in the playoffs, that's huge, because you're going to need to win that type of game where you're going to need a 2-minute drill to do it at some point in the next 6 weeks.
A postmortem on Lebanon and their running game, even with the big run by the quarterback Everett out to midfield, they've carried the ball tonight 15 times for a net of 27 yards.
Wow. I mean, that's just been locked down defense. I mean, it's just been all night long.
By the way, Lakota West on offense running the ball, they've carried the ball 5 times. They're still in the negative. They have yet to get to break even.
Well, honestly, they haven't had a whole lot of opportunities with the way the special team scores have been going right now for them, that they just haven't been able to get that. I think I'm actually wrong on that. When I said that the kick when it went out of bounds wasn't a penalty because it was a safety drop kick, I actually think that might have been a penalty based off where they just moved the football.
So move the ball up 5 yards. Well, it's funny because when we typically think of kickoffs, it's a 15-yarder on balls out of bounds on kickoffs. This one's just a 5. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Bolden out of the gun. He wants to throw. He rolls to the left, looking, will keep it himself and roll out of bounds and preserve some clock with 1:19 to go.
See what they're able to come up with if they can get it down the field here and get a quick score before halftime. Really just pour it on the Warriors here.
By the way, tonight so far for Lakota West, minus 7 yards rushing. And they're up 29-0.
Yeah.
Go figure. 2nd and 7. The quick toss, it goes over for Trent Lloyd, who gets the catch here. Trent had missed a couple of games this year. Otherwise, it's very conceivable that he and Remy in some form or fashion would be 1 and 2 in all the Triple Crown numbers for the GMC this year in receiving. Receiving, catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns.
Absolutely. 100%. Would have loved to see what he did in that Fairfield game if he wasn't hurt.
As they move the ball up, and Bolden is snowed under. Back out at the 35-yard line. Reagan Bonney, the right end, the first one in, and a timeout charge to Lakota West with 1:07 left to go till halftime. Miami University Regionals is accepting applications for 2023 classes with over 30 majors offered in person and online. You can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamioh.edu/regionals. So partner with 1:07 left to go. And you've got 2nd and long here. And the way that you feel like Lebanon has to play, and maybe it's less by design, you go backside screen here.
Well, you know, the screen plays have always been there for Mitch, and I think that's always going to be there, you know, in this offense. It's situational right now. 1:07 left to go. You're up 29-0. You got a 2nd and 17 situation here. Now they're going spread. They're going to spread them out here, so it looks like they're going to try and get something down the field here. And again, I think this is just them trying to work that 2-minute drill right now.
Bolden on the gun, twins on each side with 1:07 to go out of the timeout. Bolden to throw, and they set up a little mini screen. It goes to Gonzalez out across the 40 as he rolls out of bounds back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, there you go, Geoff. You want a backside screen? You got a backside screen, man. You might need to hook your headset up to the coaches down a couple boxes down there.
Who says that we aren't tapped into the coaches'
See,
box?
exactly.
Or, you know, maybe it's possible that Gary Beauchamp is listening to us.
He could. You never know.
Possible.
Get a little ear pod in there. You never know.
Well, heaven help him if he is listening to us.
Yeah.
3rd and 10. Bolden to throw with time. Now steps up in the pocket, still has time, and now dances out of it. Still in trouble, gets away from Reagan Bonney, and now Bonney will bring him down for a couple yards of a loss.
Good coverage downfield by Lebanon. They really shut down, or really were just playing hip to hip with all the Lakota West receivers there. So, again, they were able to get pressure. Actually, halfway decent job by the Lakota West offensive line to fan the right pressure out to create a type of running lane for Mitch Bolden there. But, again, just really impressed with that Warriors defense. They're able to just play lockdown and force Mitch Bolden into a situation here. And it looks like Lakota West took a timeout there.
Well, I believe I believe it belongs to, well, they do put up the 1 for West. I don't know why you call the timeout on your side when you have 4th down and you have a punting situation, up by 29. But hey, everything's a teaching moment, right?
Maybe to have a pointing conversation. I don't know. Believe me, plenty of coaches have called timeouts to choose somebody out. That's happened many times.
Joe Marquardt is the punter. We've seen him in relief of Ben Minnick, and, of course, Ben not playing tonight, so he'll kick this one away. And an angled kick out to the sideline. And something that was said, and this is kind of a beautiful thing, that you think back to the Coleraine game where Marquardt actually was asked to kick that one out of bounds. Instead, he kicked it in play, and it was a 65-yarder back the other way for the score.
Yeah, no, and that's when you have a great punter like that, you're able to get the change field position. I kind of talked about it earlier in the game. When you ever change field positions like that and push them back 10, 15 more yards every single time you punt, that's huge. Now, Lakota West has not had to punt very often this year because their offense has scored so quickly and they struck so quickly, so that's been a big advantage for them. But when you're able to change that field position like that, man, that can really set a team back.
34 yards on the net. Nothing on the return, obviously, as this one angled out of bounds. And it's 1st and 10 at the 33 with 40 ticks of the clock left to go till halftime. 29-0 Lakota West. And the running back, K, explodes into the linebacking core. Good yards on 1st down and a timeout.
Lebanon trying to get something going here. Now the key for Lebanon is don't make the mistake. Every time we've seen them get a big gain on 1st down or get a big run play, it's always been negated by a big sack or a big penalty or something like that. So can they maintain the momentum? And right now the goal has to be get points on the board, whether that's a field goal or touchdown, go into halftime with some sense of momentum here, a little bit of something.
We talked about Kay at length as far as how good he is, and he's got three 200-yard games, beg your pardon. 3 of them going back to last year. He's got, since last year, 11 100-yard rushing games. So he's a bolt of silk. I think, if nothing else, Micah Failer, the head coach, had really praised him on his good vision and the ability to see the cutback. The problem tonight for Kay and Lebanon is there's been no cutback.
There hasn't been any cutback, and then when they do have that big play and they find that lane, it goes back, they negate it with some type of mistake.
Motion on the line. I mean, yeah. You can afford to laugh about this if you're Lakota West. Gabriel Flores was a little flustered in getting off the line.
So I do a good old-fashioned somersault. That was actually pretty good, darn good technique, I'll tell you what.
Did you expect 29-0 going into half?
Well, I know I did going into our phone call last night. You
right.
didn't.
I
did. I know that much.
Lucas Roddy is split out to the near side, closest to you. 1st and 10 out of the 46. And the quarterback keeping it, Everett, has a few yards, as he's finally brought to rest by Grant Bierman, who's had a busy night here getting his first start.
Grant's been all over the field a little bit, especially early on. It's really been the first time I've seen them kind of break good contain off the right side. The defensive end for Lakota West that got sucked inside there. So, again, good momentum here now, playing a little bit. Looks like Lebanon took a timeout there. I think that's they have 1 left for the half.
So they've reset, and I think we're seeing it now up on the board. I think the scoreboard operator had charged Lakota West a previous timeout. Now, no, they have 0. I think everybody's confused on the number of timeouts that are left.
Let's just hope they're not confused on the field.
My gut feeling is that Lebanon should be out of timeouts. Just given situation and what you don't do. And I understand that there are teachable moments that a man like Tom Bolden will impart on his kids in a very succinct way. But, you've got this lead and you're on the cusp of a running clock. 15 ticks as we come out of the timeout. As they motion Kyle Cook to the top. They look for Cook, and now Everett, flush from the pocket, looking to keep, and now he'll take it himself. Across the 40-yard line of Lakota West with 6 seconds left to go, officially out at the 39 to 38-yard line. Pickup of 11.
Well, that's what they need right there for Lebanon. Big plays like that. Lakota West, that previous drive, only rushed 3 guys, but their linebackers were dropped back so far that created that really big running game, that running lane.
So 1st and 10 from the 38. Do you just heave-ho to the end zone?
Well, with 6 seconds left, it looks like Coach Bolden just took a timeout. I've been watching him a little bit. He was very frustrated on that pass, that last play with his defensive staff and his defense. I don't know about what. It could have been the lack of the pass rush, maybe only bringing 3 guys or not having your second level up enough, defending more of the pass where he's going, hey, wait a minute, they've ran the ball the entire night. Why do we got guys 40 yards back when we need to have them really at about 20 to 25 yards back so they can come up and make those type of plays? Because right now, if I'm on Lebanon, that's really what you can do, right? You got 6 seconds. The scoreboard's showing 1 timeout left. I'm with you. I don't believe that's true. And they actually just switched it as we were literally just talking about that. So they're out of timeouts. All you can do is, chuck it down the field. This is not. I don't picture them having the way they run their offense. I don't picture them having enough time to run 2 plays here.
Yeah, and if you're running 2, then it's a quick out to the sideline to gain 4 or 5 yards.
Oh, it's quick. It is 1-2 and throw quick.
1st and 10, they spot the ball at the 38, and 3 deep safeties back at their own 15 for Lakota West. Everett to throw out to the sideline, complete out at the 25-yard line. That one goes to Slade Kyle, and this first half has come to an end after a pickup of 13.
Well, it's another wild one. 3 special team scores here tonight, and that's wildly impressive. Right now, I think really for Lakota West, their blemishes right now, what they need to go in and work on are they've really had 2 offensive drives stall where they had to kick field goals. And then defensively there towards the end, you got to start plugging up those holes on the edge game and a little bit on the running game. But so far, honestly, Lakota West has done a really great job outside of that really last couple plays there of really containing Brandon Kay and this powerful running game that Lebanon we've seen from Lebanon all year long.
29-0. You think with a score like that we'd see multiple touchdowns by Mitch Bolden? Not the case. 16 points attributed to 2 punt returns for touchdowns and a safety, and then you put 2 more field goals on top of that by Tyler Bond, and it's just been 1 offensive touchdown tonight for Lakota West. The Lebanon defense, to their credit, has done their job. It's the rest of the team that has fallen asleep at the wheel, and that's why you have such a big disparity in score here at the half.
Exactly. And Lebanon has been at times their own worst enemy. They have gotten some good plays. They've kind of started to put a drive together right there at the end of the half. But every time they get, a good first down or a couple first downs, they then have a huge play loss. They've had a couple sacks where they were in a 3rd and 25-plus situation. I think at least 2, maybe 3 times in that first half. You're not going to win many football games doing that, especially going up against this Lakota West defense.
But the score and the story remains the same here in Beckett Ridge. 29-0. Number 2 team in the state, the Firebirds, continue to march on. Kevin and I will take a siesta here for halftime. We'll return with the second half here on Chatterbox Plus. Rushing has not really benefited much of anybody tonight, though it's in favor of Lebanon right now. 17 carries for 40 yards. On the other side, or beg your pardon, 19 carries for 40 yards. And then West, 8 carries tonight for minus 13. The story has been elsewhere as we await the second half kickoff, and away we go. Tyler Bond out to the 4. And the deep man returning it back out to the far sideline. We'll get things started with Lebanon. Now, I want to finish a thought on this. As far as the quarterbacks are concerned, Braden Everett, 3 for 9 in the first half for 42 yards and an interception. And Mitch Bolden, 6 for 13 for 121 yards and a touchdown.
And really, when you look at the running game, the reason that West has not had a running game, now mind you, that has not been a strong suit of the West offense all year long. They have not had an opportunity really to sustain a drive yet. They've had 2 drives that kind of fizzled out with field goals. They had their first score on their second play from scrimmage. Other than that, it's been all special team scores tonight. So it's been kind of interesting that way that they haven't been able to get really a lot of momentum offensively.
The quarterback, Everett, keeps it on the first play of this second half, at least from scrimmage anyways, and gets good yards on first down. So Braden Everett and Braden Kay, the 2 Bradens, have really kind of comprised the offensive power throughout the season for Lebanon. They've really not done much, and we bemoaned back in the first half why we hadn't seen Kay as much.
Well, I think, again, that just goes back to Lakota West forcing Lebanon to do stuff that they don't want to do and get them outside their comfort zone.
And the run play again, and another first down. So quarterback's keeping it, and again, as we think about sleight of hand in this ball game, you think back to the Fairfield game if you're Lakota West, right? Those cutback lanes, though the approach may be different, but if you're Lebanon, you got to be thinking, hey, why not run Everett a little bit more and see what he can do on his own?
Well, create some misdirection in the backfield at least. Do something different than just handing it to Brandon Kay up the middle or off the edge. And that's what they've done there in the backfield on those two plays in this half. So far, they've been able to do that with misdirection in the backfield. They're kind of almost running like a little midline zone play. Then I think really changed the tempo up, and now we have a flag pre-snap. And it looks like it's a sideline warning on Lebanon.
$11:41 left to go here in this third period. Just getting started in the second half. 29-0. It has been West from the very beginning. And Kay will have the ball, and he is stacked up in the backfield for a loss. Running the direction of Elijah Davis.
And you're not going to get very far running that way with Elijah sitting right there in the hole. I think really, for Lebanon, they just need to sustain a drive. They've been getting these first downs on these big runs, but they have not really sustained a methodical drive down the field. Every time they get a little momentum, they push themselves back and they get into, a second down, second and long, or third and long situations. So they got to start putting themselves in these spots.
Everett will throw, and now he's flushed, and he'll be dropped. Just short of the 40-yard line, out at the 38, so no gain on that running play, or what was a pass play that turned into a running play. 4 straight running plays here to start off this second half.
And, I get trying to, maintain the clock, but at the same time, you're down 29 points and you got 3rd and 13. You're going to have to start moving this ball down the field. And, again, that's why I think getting the ball in Kay's hand in space is going to be key in this second half for the Warriors.
Everett will throw. And he is flushed from the pocket, eludes a man, and now is running for his life out on the sideline, and a great bit of dancing as he gets out on the sideline. I mean, he was pursued very heavily by the young man that we've been talking about all night getting the start in Grant Bierman.
Well, Grant's been all over this field. Really, from the first play, I think we called him, till now, he has just been left, right, all over. So great job really stepping up, getting his really kind of first in-game varsity action right now. So great job by him stepping up. But again, for Lebanon, they just continue. They keep pushing themselves back. Big sacks, and they're not just little sacks. We're talking these things are back in the backfield. They escaped one there a little bit, but you got to go for it here if you're Lebanon on 4th and 8.
Lucas Roddy is split out to the right, and Everett will throw. Looking on second down now, spun around and dropped, and the ball comes out at the very end, but the whistle has called it dead. Everett's a little bit slow to get up. And I believe that was Kofi Bobby who got in there on the stop.
Kofi came in there really, really quick, caused that pressure, and that's what you got to do. Remember, this is not a team that throws the football. They're not used to throwing the football. They don't necessarily like throwing the football. This is a team that wants to move the ball methodically down the field in the run game.
We had an official stop with 10:07 left to go, but both teams quickly back out on the field. Whatever it is, it met the satisfaction of the referee, Chris Quinn. He and his crew have run a good game tonight.
Yeah. Lakota West.
Lakota West is on offense.
Yeah,
so it was a turnover.
Yeah, it was. Turnover on downs. That was 4th down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. See, this is what happens when sometimes announcers don't always pay attention. And the run play, Gonzalez up the middle, goodbye! All the way to the end zone for the score! It's a running clock for Lakota West, 35-0. Have mercy.
Well, I'll tell you what, tack that one up to the offensive line because everybody, all 5 of them up front, just created a wall. He saw the lane, and bam, big touchdown for Lakota West. That's one way to start the second half. That's what they needed to do, and now they're pouring the route on the Warriors of Lebanon.
Biggest touchdown run for Gonzalez this year. Point after attempt by Bond is good. 36-0. Have mercy.
Well, we were wondering, when the running game was going to come alive for Lakota West. We've seen spurts of it. Remember last year, they were so spoiled with Cam Good in the backfield. Now, we were wondering who's going to take the lead. We've seen Trent Lloyd in the backfield over the last 4 or 5 weeks starting to get more action. But, man, I tell you what, that was one of the biggest run plays I think we've seen so far from Lakota West in the games that you and I have done here. So, again, every facet right now is working for Lakota West. And again, quick scores here tonight. That's what they want to do. Score quick, score early, score often.
And Lakota West out of the red as far as negative yards rushing. After the touchdown run, they're now plus 23. One play does it all, 36 yards. Gonzalez gets his second touchdown run of the year. Point after is good, and with 9:55 left to go, we now have a running clock. 36-0. And a pinwheeling kick to the goal line and out of there. Another touchback for Tyler Bond. I think, and I don't know if Tyler follows us, but maybe I think we're going to have to, again, start a Tyler Bond counter or meter.
Absolutely.
To count these.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the offensive line plays so far, Lakota West. Guys that we really don't give a lot of too much credit to, but Tony Curtis, he shifted over from center last year over to the tackle position. That's not an easy thing to do, Jeff. That's hard to do, to switch positions like that. Hats off to him. Alex Key, the new center, has stepped up big time. He doesn't get enough credit for what he's done in his game management in this spread offense. The center oftentimes calls a lot of the signals there. So, again, just a great job by all the 5 guys up front. They're extremely well coached, extremely well disciplined.
Under 9 to play, and the running play goes nowhere. Another note on Alex Key, his dad Todd is a coach on this Lakota West squad. So the funny thing that Alex had mentioned is that, he gets it on the field and he goes home and he gets it some more. So he's always in some sort of football mode because of that, but he doesn't seem to mind. I think if that's the way to go.
You got to love the game, and that's awesome that he's surrounded by it all the time.
A gain of 1 on first down for visiting Lebanon, down by 36. Dummy count, and they look to the sideline, and they got twins in the backfield with the quarterback Everett. And they give, it's K off the right side, breaks by Asbeck and gains a few yards.
Well, unfortunately, it's going to be a little too late right now for Lebanon in the running game. They're going to have to be forced to throw the football, which, again, we've talked about it all night long. That is not their forte, and it's not the position they want to be in at all.
West has only given up this year per ball game 60.5 yards through the air. That's it. Right now, Lebanon is at 42. So if you want to look at it from law of averages, they're a little ahead of the game right now.
They're getting there. They're getting closer.
Boy, you want to talk about the glass being half full for visiting Lebanon. And the pass play for Everett in trouble, and now gets by and has a first down, we believe, awfully close to it. Chased out by Bobby initially as he rolled past him, and Mike Brandkamp was out there out on the sideline to make sure he'd go no further.
It's a little breakdown and contain there, but they got really good pressure on him quick, and they've been forcing him in and out of the pocket all night long. Every time he's tried to drop back or pass or do anything. Luckily enough for him, he's got some wheels underneath him that he's able to actually get by some guys and pick up some good yardage.
And enough for a first down. Needed 5, got 5. And it's 1st and 10 out at the 30-yard line with 6:48 and counting left to go here in this third period. And it's the running back, Braden Kay, off the left side. And Braden, again, as we had mentioned, back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons. 9 games he did it last year, 10 games this year, now number 11 as he's approaching 1,300 yards this year. Really a fine back, outstanding speed, anchors the 4x100 team on track, and is slated to run track at the next level, even though he's been an awfully good running back.
Well, anytime you get, and he's a shorter guy we talked about, he's able to see those lanes really quick, a lot quicker than somebody who might be taller. We're only talking a couple of inches, and yeah, that does matter when you're in a running back situation.
And speaking of Kay, he gets good yards there. Off the left side for 5. Well, to your point, right, short, even though he's not high in weight, he's somewhat stocky. So you think about guys who have some stockiness and are short as being able to shift on the fly and re-accelerate on a step, and that's what he does. So Braden gets 7 on that play. 3rd and 3, down and distance as we go twins to the bottom of your screen. And they're going to go K again. Or no, it's the keeper. So great sleight of hand as it looked like K was going to get knocked back, but the quarterback keeping it, and he's close to a first down.
Elijah Davis was in there. He just missed stopping him in the backfield there. Brings up a little bit. I don't think he quite got it. It's going to be about 4th and 3. So again, I'm sorry, Jeff. That was what I wanted to make a point of there, though, was that was one of the first times that Lebanon tonight has been in a 3rd and manageable situation. It was a 3rd and 3. They have not been in that. Really, I don't remember at all, and it looks like they're going to punt here now.
So a gain of 1 officially. They spot the ball at the 38. They gave him forward progress after we thought he got a little further.
We got the Bash brothers back there. I tell you what, they've had a night tonight. See what they can do here.
Brennan Remy and Trent Lloyd out at their own 35 as we have a stop and play with 4:36 to go here in this third period. Miami University Regionals is accepting applications for 2023 classes with over 30 majors offered in person and online. You can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree. Conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamioh.edu/regionals. So absent the timeout, a running clock with 4:36 left to go here in this third. 36-0. It's been West from the very beginning. In fact, when we say the very beginning, the first score came on a 51-yard touchdown pass from Bolden to Remy with 11:05 left to go in the first period.
That was West right here. Granted, it is 36-0, but hey, if you're Lebanon, you have nothing to lose here. I'd watch out for the fake because I would not want to punt it to either of those two guys, each of them having a punt return for touchdown tonight. And that's Trent Lloyd and Brennan Remy.
So Lloyd's to the top, out to the visiting sideline. In fact, is it me or is Brennan talking with one of the Lebanon players out there out at the 30?
Kind of does seem like that, yeah.
He was pointed out that way. Trent's just ready to play. He's in the middle of the field on 4th and 2. And let's see if they come after the punter Miller. And the way it looks, and they did get a safety out of it, and they are coming after him. Miller gets it away. It's angled to the left, out of bounds on the sideline. Go figure.
Yeah.
Out of bounds at approximately the 42. We'll see where they officially spot it. But he did not put a whole lot of distance into it with 4:21 left to go.
I think you're going to start seeing some of the second teamers and the reserves start sneaking in here for Lakota West. Yeah, I don't see.
Well, we still see Giovanni Wilson out there. I think I saw Bolden's number out there, yes. So Bolden is still out there with just about 4 minutes left to go. By the way, that punt went 24 yards on the net. So Lakota West at their own 46. And a little delayed handoff. I mean, on the end around it. Coming back is Wilson. Up the middle. Now finds a seam out to the outside. Has some space. Out to the sideline. Down he goes. Out across the 20-yard line. A broken play run there by Giovanni Wilson.
Well, it started off, I don't even know whether Mitch Bolden touched the handoff or touched the ball on the snap. Literally, Wilson met him right there, and then boop, just went left. Nope, nowhere there. Went right, nothing there. Came back, went back right. Man, I'll tell you what, he was all over the field. Huge gain for Lakota West now.
Got a seal block right around the line of scrimmage, and then that broke him free. It's a gain of 26. But you and I had talked about empty yards a week ago, about all the running that you do. And we'll see here. It's another running play.
Ooh.
And that one had some steam there for Gonzalez, the touchdown maker here on that last drive, and a gain of a couple.
Just got him by a shoelace on that one there, and we're starting to see this running game now for Lakota West come alive. I think we've been kind of waiting to see this all year long. They've done variations of it, but nothing like this where they've just been dominant, been able to get a drive and dominate down the field. So everything's turning and burning right now for Lakota West at the right time. Special teams, running game. Man, this is a team that is really right now cooking on all cylinders.
Twins to the top. Gonzalez in the backfield with Bolden. And the keeper by Bolden into space. Out to the 10. Stopped out at the 5-yard line. First and goal coming up on a pickup of 13 by Bolden.
Well, great job there. They've had two big runs by Gonzalez, so, hey, we're going to use them in a play action, and then Bolden just is going to keep it. So a great play design there by Coach Bolden, Coach Bouchamp, to basically say, hey, we're going to use what's been working for us as a decoy and then give it to our great quarterback who we know can run and pick up a big play there and a big first down, sets up a first and goal situation.
And look who's coming in. Luka Gilbert, the big tight end. And you and I yesterday had talked about posting him up in the end zone. We'll see if they do that here on first and goal. They motion Gilbert back to the left. And the run play, Gonzalez in for a second. 42-0, Lakota West, have mercy.
Like a hot knife through butter, man. Just right up the middle for Gonzalez. Again, this offensive line has come to play here tonight for Lakota West. They have stepped up big time. You know, we were always wondering, when is this running game going to come alive? Well, it has come alive here in the second half for Lakota West in week one of the playoffs. Man, can you picture a better time, Geoff, for your running game to come alive right now? Oh, man.
So even with a potential all-star, all-state quarterback at the helm, no running plays or no pass plays in the third quarter so far, but 2 touchdowns as the point after is good, and our brand new score here in Beckett Ridge is 43-0. The Firebirds continue to roll.
I mean, no passing plays? Mitch Bolden didn't throw a passing play on a drive? Are you kidding me?
So that last drive, and I'll get back to the whole third quarter in just a second. 4-play drive that took 2 minutes and 28 seconds off the clock. He went 46 yards, capped off by the Gonzalez 5-yard touchdown run. The point after is good, 43-0. As I'm counting back, and I'm looking at plays strictly in the second half here. One play. Well, you know, we're going to have to do some more counting up here. Just bear with me on that one.
Needless to say, and this goes back to my point about how well this offensive line has stepped up. When you have an offense that's been pass dominant, for 10 weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden now out of the blue, against a halfway decent defense here, has been able to come out and just run it down their throats and run it big time, that's big.
Short kickoff, and it goes to Adam Sherrick, the backup quarterback.
Uh-oh.
And he has a lane out on the far sideline and good yardage for Sherrick with 1:04 and counting left. So 5 plays and a flag at the end of the play, as you had alluded to here. Let me hit this point before we get to the flag. Lakota West has run 5 plays from scrimmage here in this third quarter, all runs. The Gonzalez touchdown run after the turnover on downs, and then the 4-play drive that we just saw finish up.
I love that. As an offensive line guy, I love that. Saying, hey, Mitch, we know you can throw the ball, man, but hey, we'll put these couple drives on our back here. We'll get some points out of this, too. We can share the limelight a little bit. That's awesome. And, we used to call playing offensive line, you got to be a fool. It's called the Fraternal Order of Offensive Linemen. You know why you got to be a fool? Because you're never going to get your name on the paper. You're never going to get anything, the accolades that the star, the wide receivers, and the quarterbacks get, but you're the key. You're the key to this whole thing working, and right now this Lakota West offense has really stepped up. I think that penalty was a personal foul against Lakota West.
It is.
So they'll move it back here, see if the Warriors can get anything going here on offense.
So that goes all the way to the opposing 48-yard line. Well, actually, do we have it right? It's to the 48. It's their own 48 for Lebanon. And a deep drop for the quarterback, Everett. With time, he launches down the field, and it is complete out at the 20-yard line. Receiver taking it up the field, across the 10, down to the 5-yard line. A pickup of 43, and we may have a flag on this as well.
Yeah, I think this one, the referee signal will come back. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty on Lebanon. So, of course, their first really big, huge gain of the night. I mean, they're hands down their largest play coming back because of penalty, and that has been their Achilles heel all night long. Every time they've gotten a big play against this West defense, they have figured out a way either play after or by a penalty to bring it back. So, again, that has really been what they have messed up on here tonight for the Warriors.
And we are at the end of 3 periods. 43-0 Lakota West. We head to the 4th here on Chatterbox Plus, powered by Miami University Regionals. To the 4th quarter we go. Lakota West just 12 minutes away from moving on to the next round, and they'll face the winner of the 6-11 game, Princeton and West Claremont.
Well, last check, that was all Princeton. Let's see if we can get an update here on that game.
So we have switched sides of the field as you're getting the score. And I think the rematch between the 3 and the 6 teams in this region, Lakota West and Princeton, was very well expected.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against the teams from the ECC in this case, Lebanon as we're seeing tonight, and West Claremont on the other side playing Princeton. But they are the lower seats for a reason as Kay goes off the right side and into the secondary. He explodes for big yards. Out to the 42-yard line, a pickup of 17. And that's the Brandon Kay we were expecting to see tonight.
But see, here it was all negated. That should have been a touchdown run right there had they not had the penalty on that huge long pass play again. So that's where Lebanon has really got to go into the offseason here now and really figure out a way, how do we sustain drives against these really good teams? Because that's been kind of what they've been missing this year.
A run play, but this time they lock up Kay.
Went absolutely
and that is,
nowhere.
beg your pardon, Cam Thomas in on the stop as the second team is fully into this ballgame for Lakota West.
It's one of the advantages of playing for a team like Lakota West. You get these young guys in to get these Friday night varsity playoff game experience. That's huge to have as you're trying to develop these kids and develop this program to even newer and bigger heights. But to get those guys developed early on is huge.
Everett back to throw. He launches down the sideline, and is this picked off? It is! It is the reserve defensive back out there making it, Finn Mason.
Great job by Finn Mason. Timed it up perfectly. Got the ball at its highest point. Man, what a great play there. You know, Lebanon, again, they were trying to get the ball to Kay down the field. One receiver route, and everybody just knew where the ball was going, but great job by Finn there to pick it out. And, again, this offense now for Lakota West has an opportunity to put more points on the board.
So the ball's at the 35-yard line. The one thing, if there's some deficiency this year that we've seen, is that the second team for Lakota West has not scored very often. And it's a run play. Davey on McCoy. Angles to the sideline. Has room. And a good gain here on first down. Very nearly 10. And the exception to that rule, Davion McCoy, who did score in that game against Lakota East back in week 2.
Yeah, great run there. Great job by the JV offensive line. Gave him a great seal block off the edge. They blocked down. They held their blocks. He was able to find the seam and picked up a big, and they gave him the first down on that, looked like.
Well, the down marker does have it now at first. They were a little slow on the far sideline, so a pickup of 10 for Davion McCoy, who came into this ballgame averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Is 143 now on the season. 9:04 left to go in this ballgame, and another give. It goes to McCoy off the right side this time, and not much there. Maybe a gain of 1. Are you surprised that Lakota West didn't throw a pass in the third quarter?
Obviously with what we have seen with Lakota West, sure, yes, 100%. I'm just more impressed that the offensive line stepped up and the running game was so dominant there in the third quarter for Lakota West that they were able just to absolutely put this game 100% away.
Davion McCoy off left tackle for a couple more yards. As we look at what's going on, well, actually less about what's going on and more about some of the other teams that are in the playoffs, whether it's near or far. We did mention Princeton, who's just outside the top 10 if you follow the AP poll. In fact, Princeton, I believe, was 11th this week, and Mason was 12th. So that shows a lot of love to the GMC here down the stretch.
I think it's a testament to these teams in the GMC. And there's been a little bit more parity this year than in years past. Obviously, Lakota West has kind of ran away with it. Coleraine, though, they turned it on late in the season, winning 4 out of the last 5 games. So they've kind of really stepped it up as well. So you had some really good parity. It's, Mason this year, again, figured out how to win in the fourth quarter compared to last year where I think they lost almost 4 or 5 games in the fourth quarter alone going into it. So Coach Kastner, they're a great football coach. He's been able to figure it out and really step it up. We even saw Oak Hills give this Lakota West team some fits in the first half. They stepped it up as well. So you're getting a lot of great parity across the league here, and I think that's great. I think that's what the GMC is meant for.
The deep man to return is Adam Sherrick back at his own 12. Marquardt to punt it away. Fair catch called for by one of the upmen out at the 18-yard line. 33 yards on the punt, nothing on the return, and with 7 minutes left to go, we're just kind of counting the seconds here, partner, as we're looking at some of the other teams. Lakewood St. Edward is number 1 across the state. Of course, they had that big shutout win over Moeller, and Moeller is 3rd in the AP poll, followed by Springfield. Elder is 5th, tied with Gahanna Lincoln. Medina is 7th, Centerville is 8th, Dublin Jerome is 9th, and then Perrysburg, up towards the Toledo area, is 10th.
Gahanna is one of those teams we were talking about. We were talking about Centerville, who we saw week 1 against Lakota East. We were talking about them and their strength of schedule. Well, they went and beat Gahanna week 2, and that's Gahanna's only loss out of Columbus.
I'm going to be perfectly frank with you. So, and it's probably a good thing that we don't cover the GWOC on a regular basis, the Greater Western Ohio Conference, and Kay will get the run play as he sweeps out to the far side, and he is strung out after a couple yards. I'm not a big believer in Centerville, despite their 8-2 record and how good their defense is. And the reason why is if you go back to week 1, and I know they played Gahanna Lincoln, I believe it was week 2 or 3. If you give them credit for the win over Lincoln, you also have to give them discredit for having a very close game that came down to the final plays against Lakota East, who's not even in the Region 4 tournament.
I know, and I totally 100% agree with you there. And obviously, computer points, that's left for Joe Idle and the mathematicians to figure out how those things all factor into it. But that I think is more the reason why you see them ranked so high, just because they have that big win. And Gahanna kept winning. That's the other side of it, right? You got to have your team you beat. If they keep winning, the more points you're going to get throughout the year as their points continue to accumulate. So again, I look at this and I look at the parity across Region 4. There's a lot of it this year, as there wasn't so much so last year in Region 4. We were talking about that Moeller Oak Hills game last year was Oak Hill's 0-10 versus Moeller 8-2 or 7-3, whatever that was. That was kind of a little bit of a ridiculous game. This is at least a little bit more of competitive matchups this year.
Everett is chased down. On third down, he'll bring up fourth with 5:15 left to go here in this ball game. You punt? I know that you're deep in your own territory, but you got nothing to lose at this point. And honestly, with the way Lakota West's second team runs their offense, they're not exactly in a hurry to get to the opposing end zone either.
Well, I'm always the you got nothing to lose type coach. We're going to chuck it down the field. I'm going to get points on the board. We want to have a little bit of fun. Let's, rock and roll with this. That's my mentality. It's always been my mentality as a coach, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Get the first down. Keep it moving.
Lebanon is 8 of 15 this year on fourth down. Make it 9 of 16. Braden Kay with yet another run. We mentioned running clocks initially. We teased it back in the first half.
Boy, were we right.
Lakota West, in their 10 games coming into this one, had played 5 running clock games. All 5 came in a 6-week period against the GMC. So imagine playing 5 running clock games in 6 games, and honestly, you and I have seen a bunch of them, to be honest.
Well, we've really covered them kind of throughout their GMC slate. So we got to see a lot of those. And I think that's even more impressive, that they've been able to do it in league against teams that they have to go up against year in and year out.
The running play to Marquez Johnson, the running back / linebacker for a few. So 5 is as many as any team in Region 4 has played in terms of running clock games. The other one who played 5, Western Hills out of the CMAC. They're 2-3 this year in running clock games.
They have some athletes over there at Western Hills for sure. They can run the ball down. They had a good year this year, very good year.
3:30 left to go to the conclusion of this one. Lakota West looking to pitch the shutout. An extended pistol and a give. It goes to Johnson, and a nice shake and bake off the left side for first down. And kind of looking back through the schedule, and I go back through the running clock games. Lakota West in those 5 running clock games in that 6-week stretch outscored their opposition in those 5 running clock games 214-20.
Oh, wow.
You can't even do that in Madden.
No, that's wow. That's a wildly impressive. Great. I mean, think about that defensively. Just think about that. Like, you've only allowed teams in those 5 games 20 points. Whew, that's amazing.
Lakota West looking for their 3rd shutout defensively this year. And another running play. Was that 10? I believe I saw Alex Klein, who's the backup running back, 6'2", 175 pounds, just a sophomore, so he'll be back next year. He scored the lone Lebanon score a week ago against Winton Woods. If you're Lebanon and you're running into, in a 4-week stretch, Kings, and then 2 weeks later, Winton Woods, and then Lakota West, that is a gauntlet.
That is very much so, yeah, especially with Winton Woods. They are a juggernaut of a team in Division II.
Well, how about Tremaine Matthews for that team? Oh,
yeah.
Can't wait to see him in Columbus.
Wow. And Winton Woods is just such a great, prideful program over there. They've always had great teams. I went up against them, in 2013 when I was at Loveland, we won state there. We beat them 7-6 in the regular season. You want to talk about a barn burner. That was an unbelievable game. And then they had another game against Mount Healthy and Coach Crouch, and that was an amazing game too in the semifinals, the regional semifinals.
Looks like Klein behind the quarterback, Everett. Off left tackle, breaks through and has a first down. Cross midfield and down to the 42-yard line. As we look at the clock situation, 1:12 to go. Well, so to be fair, I think this is just good sportsmanship. You know that you've already gotten beaten this ball game. Run out the clock.
Yeah.
Call it a day. Say that thank you for the season, and especially after an 0-3 start in which, honestly, as we talked with Micah Failer, the head coach, they could have given up very easily. Instead, they started running off some wins after that.
Well, I mean, you just look at some of the teams and you look at some of their losses. You know, Springboro 21-19, Milford 42-39. They lost to Anderson 44-41. Those are three really good teams right there that they have, you know, played very, very competitively. And they were just, like I said, you know, probably at least a few plays away from winning those ball games. So, again, this is a competitive Lebanon team here.
We're down to the final half minute in this one. We talked about Centerville, and I thought they were a little overrated coming out of the GWAC. I also think that a little bit about Springboro, who's the 4th seed in Region 4. They're the northernmost team in Region 4. I think that might be right for an upset as we come up ready for the final play of this one, if we can get it off in time. And they do. Everett to throw, looking downfield, and will throw it home run. Intended for Sherrick, and it's picked off! Return man coming on back out to midfield, and that's a perfect capper to a game that really went very well for them. Jacob Stauffer gets the interception for Lakota West as they go run away with this one on the win tonight, 43-0. Have mercy.
I'll tell you what, that was a wildly impressive game by Lakota West. I know you thought it was going to be closer. You had me convinced that it might be a little bit closer.
To be fair, I did say there was a smaller percentage that it would be a closer game.
Okay, I'll give you that. But nonetheless, I mean, just from start to finish, I mean, it's literally second play of the game, you're scoring points. And then the special teams and the run game, the way that stepped up. And that's what you need at this point in the season. You know, most teams now, they only have one dimension. Right now, Lakota West has all three dimensions of their game playing at their highest level going into the playoffs. That's big, Jeff, when you're able to do that, especially with the way the offensive line is playing, especially with the way the running game happened there in the third quarter.
Just an end-to-end wall-to-wall game for Lakota West as they improved to 11-0 on the season and move on to the second round against the winner of the 6-11 game. That is Princeton and West Claremont. And Lebanon, the Warriors end their season at 4-7. Let's do a rundown of the scoring here tonight. It was all one-sided, and honestly, the game was decided in the very first minute of this ball game, if you can believe it. 2 plays in, as you mentioned, partner, Brennan Remy on the receiving end of a touchdown pass from Mitch Bolden. That's Mitch's 26th of the year, and Brennan got his 10th receiving touchdown of the year. Point after is good, and it's 7-0 with 11:05 left to go in the first period. Then it was a punt return by Trent Lloyd of 45 yards. The point after was good, and with 3:14 left to go in the first period, 14-0. Tyler Bond tacked on a 23-yard field goal with 11:52 left to go till halftime, 17-0. Then a punt return by Brennan Remy, his second score overall of the night, and that one he took to the house with 8:46 left to go till halftime. Point after good, 24-0. Tyler Bond added a 37-yard field goal with 3:47 left till halftime, 27-0. And a safety at just before the half at 1:25 left to go, made it 29-0. Final scores of the ball game, Luis Gonzalez had a couple of touchdowns. The first one with 9:56 left to go in the third period. Point after good, 36-0. Then he got another one, a 5-yarder. To make it with 1:21 left to go in the third quarter to make it 43-0, and that's the final score of this ball game. Time now for our play of the night, powered by Headline Sportswear. Partner, what is your pick?
I got to tell you what, Jeff, the 2 punt returns, I'm trying to pick between the 2. I really am. Between Trent and Brennan Remy's. I don't know whether I can, man. I don't know. That's just so impressive. It's something we haven't seen them do here tonight. I got to go, honestly, with both punt returns for Lakota West. It's just game changers. That's huge for them. That's huge. So those are my plays of the game for Lakota West.
Well, so be sure to look on Twitter here tonight or tomorrow morning. You'll see our play or plays of the night, powered by Headline Sportswear. Partner, your final thoughts on week number 11. It was a whitewashing tonight by Lakota West.
Great job. All three facets of the game for the Firebirds. Special teams, offense, and defense all stepped up big tonight. They got to continue that momentum. Now they got to go up against a very familiar foe in Princeton. They come right back here now. So, again, that adds a little bit to it. These two teams know each other. It's another GMC battle. Can't wait for it next Friday.
We can't wait for week 12.
Yeah.
And we'll see if this Lakota West defense can continue its run. This is their third shutout that they pitched this year.
Very impressive.
Partner, we'll see you for week 12.
Can't wait.
And again, the final in this one, on the strength of two really outstanding punt returns, 43-0, West goes away a winner, improving to 11-0 as Lebanon falls to 4-6 and ends their year here in the playoffs. Thanks go out to our videographer, Mike Ackley. We can't wait to see you for week 12. It'll be Lakota West and likely Princeton on the other end. For Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Beckett Ridge.